Shabbat Shalom, everyone. And welcome to Temple Shalom Emeth for our Erev Shabbat service tonight. We're very happy to see everybody here, lots of people. It's great to see you all back, and I think our service is commemorating a wonderful group called FAAB, which I think many of you are a part of. I think we're a part of that now, too.
Yes, we are.
And
We're no longer prefab.
that's right, we're no longer prefab. Isn't that great not to be prefab? That's wonderful. Let's start off singing and get into the spirit of Shabbat. And why don't we start with a contemporary version of Shalom Aleichem, for which I encourage you to use your shakers, but your voices as well. So this is Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Everyone. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharei Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Ba'achini l'Shalom Malachei Hashalom Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem l'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharei Elyon. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Melech Malchei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right, very nice, thank you. Let's sing another one. How about one that we don't do here as often, but I like it a lot, and it's called Lo Alecha, and it's by Jeff Klepper, wrote the music to this one, and it's on page 645, and it's taken from a Pirkei Avot. The English is, "It is not your duty to complete the work, but neither are you free to desist from it." So, a good message. And the song goes like this. Feel free to shake along with this one. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, everyone. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, velo ata ben kori vehibatel mimena. Velo ata ben kori, velo ata ben kori lehibatel mimena. Velo ata ben kori. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo alecha ligmor, lo alecha hamlacha ligmor. Lo alecha ligmor. Try the verse again. Below ata ben kori lehibatel mimena. Below ata ben kori. Below ata ben kori lehibatel mimena. Below ata ben kori. Once more on the chorus. Lo alecha hamlacha ligmor, lo
Shalom, everybody. I can't tell you how great it is to see all of you here, and it's wonderful for everybody here to see each other here as well. So this is just a wonderful community experience, and FAAB always comes through. So we can always count on FAAB. So I just wanted to say that we're going to continue our service with the lighting of the Shabbat candles, which you may find on page 120 and 121. I'd like to invite Grandma Ellen to come on up and light the candles for us this evening in honor of her, you all might not know, in honor of her new grandson being born less than 24 hours ago in South Africa, just around the corner.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Blessed art thou, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen, amen, amen. Amen, amen.
Thank you. And now that we've lit the lights of Shabbat, we're going to continue by welcoming the Shabbat bride with the singing of Lecha Dodi on page 138.
Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nikabla. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nikabla. Shamor Zachor B'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el Am Yuchad. Adonai echad, U'shemo echad, V'shemu tiferet v'litila. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nikabla. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nikabla. Verse 5. Hitoveri, Hitoveri, Kiva Ore, Umi Ori. Uri, Shir Daberi, Kibod Adonai Alayif Nigla. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Kala, B'nei Shabbat Nikabla. dodi lekrat kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela. Verse 9, last verse. Holy b'shalom Ateret ba'ala Gam b'simcha Uv'tzahola Toho emunei Am segula Boi kala Boi kala Lecha dodi Lekrat kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela Lecha dodi Lekrat kala B'nei Shabbat Mekabela B'nei Shabbat Mekabela.
And that concludes our Kabbalat Shabbat, or welcoming Shabbat section of our service, and we're now going to continue with the next section called the Shema U'Birchoteha, the Shema and its blessings, on page 146. Please rise in body or spirit for the Baruch Hu, our call to worship. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavorach. Baruch Adonai Hamavorach Leolam Va'ed.
Page 148, the Ma'ariv Aravim. This grandma Fran has got a much older granddaughter who's 2 months old.
Yes, 8 weeks today. It's very exciting. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chachma poteach sha'arim, uvitbuna mishana itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim b'mishmerotehem, barakiat kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla golel or mipnei choshek v'choshek mipnei or. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uven laila, Adonai tzivaot shema. El chai v'chayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim.
Continue on page 150 with Ahavat Olam.
And I would like to bring up to the Bima our temple president.
Grandpa Andy.
Another grandfather.
All these FAAB members have grandkids.
He's going to help sing this next song, Ahavat Olam, at the top of page 150. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu lemadeta, Otanu lemadeta. Alkein Adonai Eloheinu b'shafenu b'kumenu nasiya b'tukecha nishmat b'divrei Toratcha u'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu u'ahem nege yomam v'layla nege yomam v'layla v'yavatcha
Yosir Mimenu Leolamim Baruch Atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael Ohev Amo
Stay up here.
Stay up here.
Stay up here.
Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 152 and 153, we continue with the Shema, the watchword of our Jewish faith. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Page 154.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ושכך ובקומך, ושרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוז ביתך וישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, Adonai Elohechem. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. Take to heart these instructions to which I charge you this day. Impress them upon your children. Recite them when you say them at home and when you are away, when you lie down and when you get up. Bind them as a sign on your hand and let them serve as a symbol on your forehead. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. Thus you shall remember to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your God. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I am Adonai your God. Adonai Elohechem Emeth.
Now we're going to continue with the singing of Micha Mocha, the song the Israelites sang when they crossed the Red Sea to freedom from Pharaoh's grip on page 158. Get your shakers ready.
Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar ba'kodesh, Micha Mocha ba'elim Adonai, Micha Mocha nedar ba'kodesh. No rock hilo, oh, Sefele, no rock hilo, oh, Sefele, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed. Ahutecha ra'u banecha, בוקי הים לפני משה ומרים, ואלי ענו ויאמרו, ואלי ענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
continue with the singing of Hashkivenu on page 160. This is a prayer which always speaks to me because I think of all the people in the world who need God to create a shelter of peace and sanctity around them.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Leshalom V'hamidenu Shomreinu Lechayim. Ushmor Tzeteinu L'chaim u'shalom me'ata v'yad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu shomreinu l'chaim.
Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We continue on page 162 with Vishamru. The people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam b'ri'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam b'ri'olam. B'nei uvein B'nei Yisrael, ohod hi le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam b'ri'olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor et ha-Shabbat v'dorotam b'ri'olam. Uvayom hashvi'i shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash, shavat vayinafash. B'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat v'asor ha-Shabbat v'dorotam b'ri'olam.
And that concludes the next section of our service, and now we continue with the tefillah, the third section, which means the prayer on page 164. Please rise in body or spirit.
Anananananana Adonai, ananananana Svatai Tifta, ananananana Ufi Yagi Tehillah. Ananananana Svatai Tifta, ananananana Ufi Yagi Tehillah. sfatai tita. Ananananana upi yagi tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana sfatai tita. Ananananana upi yagi tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Ananananana sfatai tita. Ananananana upi yagi tehilatecha. Please turn to page 166 and join me in the chanting of the Avot. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem L'Ma'an Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Page 168. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai Mechaye hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia Mechalkei chayim bechesed Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim Zomech noflim verofei cholim Umatir asurim, Umkayim emunato, Mishnei afar, Mikamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech mimi, Umkayim, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lehachayot ha'akol. Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye Hakol. Top of page 170. Atah Kadosh Shimcha Kadosh U'Kadoshim Kol Yom Yehallelu Selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated, and we continue with the singing of Shalom Rav, a song for peace, on page 178.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'einecha levarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Shalom Rab al Yisrael Amcha. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Together in English. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, Adonai, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch atah Adonai, hamvarech et amo Yisrael b'shalom. Now we continue with the Misha Beirach Get Well prayer on page 371. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal those who are ill. This evening we think of Meg Silver, Michael Nussbaum, Judy Wasserman, Brenda Shafitz. And at this time, if there are others in our community or anyone you know whose name you would like to add for our Get Well prayer, may say their name aloud or in your hearts as I look across the room.
Sharon Lippman, Neil Gaffner.
I also like to add all of those in Ukraine who are suffering during this horrible war. And we think of everybody in the state of Israel and surrounding area after the horrible shooting in the synagogue just a few hours ago in Israel. And I also like to think of, I would like to personally think about having come back from my trip to El Paso, all of those migrants who are homeless and don't know what their future will be, who are risking their lives to get to the border, and then after the border, a whole life of uncertainty is facing them. So we think of all of them at this moment. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for all of their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send all of them a complete renewal of body and spirit. And let us say, Amen.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mekor habracha la'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Now, in addition to sending our support and strength to those who are in need of healing, we also ask God or express our gratitude to God for all of the blessings in our lives, because on Shabbat, we're not supposed to think about our problems, we're supposed to think about how grateful we are for our many blessings and thanking God for life and health and all the blessings that are ours. So this is the moment when we're able to say out loud some things that we feel we're particularly grateful for or feel blessed by, And I'll start. I'm feeling grateful and blessed that I'm in the room with all of you. As I said before, it's just wonderful. I can't tell you how good it feels to see so many people sitting out there and to feel such a sense of community and a sense of connection with everybody here. And I'm grateful for my many relationships with all of you. So anybody else have anything else they'd like to just say they're grateful for? Richard?
Yeah, I just remembered, I guess I'm grateful for a brand new grandson here.
You just remembered that you're grateful for your brand new grandson. Glad you remembered. I guess by the third one, it's not as.
I can also say, I think I'll repeat this, but I am grateful for a long career from which I'm not retired.
Great. Richard's grateful for a long career from which he was just retired, and I apologize for repeating everything for everybody who's watching out there. Who else?
I'm grateful
Matt.
for pizza.
Matt's grateful for pizza. We're all grateful for pizza all the time. Thank you. Yeah. You're grateful for your daughter sitting next to you. And you're grateful for sitting next to your mother. That's awesome. No greater blessing than that. Ben.
I'm grateful for the good treatment that my wife is getting for her recent ailment, and especially for the medication, which we had to go through jump through a lot of hoops to order and get insurance for, and get the delivery and do all sorts of things on computer applications and the telephone. But it came this morning, and so we're hoping for the best on that, but I'm very grateful that she's holding up well and keeping her spirits up, and very grateful for that.
Excellent. Anybody else? Fran.
Grateful for my little Dahlia, who is a joy, and at the ONED rather than on tape, I will explain all today while homesick. She insisted on seeing a picture of Mindy, and when her Uncle Rico was able to find it playing with my phone, she didn't understand how Fran Rosenberg, how there could be another person named Fran. Both of those will be explained later.
Okay, so I'll try to repeat that.
Part of this community, I'm grateful. Thank you. Dahlia already knows.
So Fran is grateful for
A joy.
what?
Dahlia, who's a joy.
Okay. Fran is grateful for her granddaughter Dahlia, who's a joy. The end. Okay, so and I'm just gonna add one more that in addition to being grateful for my dog who lets me sleep as late as I want every morning, I had to actually wake him up the last 2 days. I'm also grateful for my rabbinic colleagues because just this past week I had an issue that I just wasn't sure what to do after all these years, and I put something on my rabbi's Facebook page, and I had a number of colleagues reach out to me and with their phone numbers and say, call me anytime, I'll be happy to talk to you. And I had a number of really, really very, very nice, kind, compassionate phone calls with my colleagues. So it's at times like those that I really appreciate all of them. So for all of those reasons and more, we sing the Shehechianu prayer, thanking God for enabling us to reach this moment.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh.
pause for a moment of silent prayer. Now we continue with the singing of Oseh Shalom, another song for peace on page 180. Shakers are ready.
Oseh Shalom, Bimromav, Aseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, Bimromav, Aseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, Bimroma, Aseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, Bimroma, Aseh Shalom, Aleinu, V'yakol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
Well, Shabbat Shalom again, everybody. So tonight, in thinking about our FAAB service, I was thinking about how many of you were telling me about what you're doing in retirement, or what you're thinking about as you approach retirement, or just what your lives have been like outside of the workplace. And so I was just thinking that I'm not retired. I'm not retiring, but I'm constantly thinking about what gives my life meaning, in addition to being the rabbi of the congregation. Like what is it? I'm constantly thinking, I'm obsessed with what gives my life meaning and how I can contribute to the world. And in some ways I feel like I am retired because I feel like I'm doing this for fun. But anyway, it's so important for us, I think, for all of us, no matter where we are in that process, to think about what gives our life meaning. And I've seen so many changes in so many people's lives as they've gone through this process, that I thought it'd be great for all of us to just hear from other people what they're thinking and where they're at, and maybe it'll give us ideas or start the wheels turning in our own heads at this stage in many of our lives. So I have 3 Temple members who have agreed to come up and say a few words about their thoughts. And I think I'll start with our Temple president, Andy Fight.
Take our masks off here. So yeah, I don't know how many people know, about a year and a half ago, I began talking with my company where I'd been working for almost 4 years. I moved back here to Boston as part of joining that company. So, I started talking about about transitioning into a lower stress mode, and I was managing about 25 people and a fast growing company, and it was just with COVID and being remote. I moved down to the Cape. It was just feeling like too much, and the company was great and allowed me the flexibility. They said, well, okay, let's hire someone to be your replacement. You can train them, and when all that's done, we'll let you slow down, but we're not letting you go. So as of last September, I went from a 5-day work week, which was really more than a 5-day work week, because it was a startup and everybody's online all the time. It was headquartered in Israel, so they had no problem calling on Sundays when they were working. I transitioned to 2 days a week, and I've kind of been struggling with that. I told Susan when she asked me, would you be willing to talk? I said, well, I'm not really retired yet because I'm still working 2 days a week. She said, well, that's good for people to hear about that journey that you're on. So I'll share a little bit. When I first started that first week, my phone was ringing all the time and the emails were coming in and the team chats were going on every day. And I said, okay, this isn't working. Everybody's acting like I'm still there full time. And all I did was take a pay cut. So that didn't seem right. So I tried going to Tuesdays and Thursdays were my office days. And I blocked out Monday, Wednesday, Friday on my calendar as out of office. And then people started booking me to do webinars on Wednesdays and, oh, we're doing this on Friday. And so it's been a little bit of an adjustment for me of tuning down to a 2-day work week. But a little bit about what I thought I would be doing. I had my first grandson. He'll be 1 year old next month, and I thought I'd be spending more time with him and with my son and my daughter-in-law and helping them. 1 day a week or 2 days a week, I'd come over. It hasn't worked out quite that way. They're busy working, and Benjamin's in daycare, and so I still see them every other week on the weekends. But the work week idea didn't pan out. I thought I'd play a lot of golf, and I did, but I thought my golf game would get better, and it didn't. And the one thing I would say I was able to do, I had some visions of what this semi-retirement would look like, and it involved, just a lot more fun activities. So golf was one, but sailing was another, and I was able to block that out to literally, just say Wednesday afternoons, I'm sailboat racing on Cape Cod every Wednesday afternoon. I don't care what you think you need me for work, that day is off, and that was really great. But then, of course, the weather changes, and here we are. And I'm right now trying to figure out what is it. Is golf and sailing and biking are not those were the things when I first started taking more time off and doing things that would be important to me to just really do. And it worked well for a while, but now I'm starting to readjust. Okay, what do I do on those other days? And another element of what I've been doing in terms of giving back is obviously being the president of Temple Shalom Emeth. There are peak times and slow times, but there are definitely times where the rabbi and I are talking on the phone a lot, and we have board meetings every month, and sometimes there are major issues like kitchen remodels that we have to figure out budgeting for and paying for. And so doing that has been I was doing it a little bit before I retired, but I'd say I'm giving it more time and energy. And the thing I want to really get into, which I said in my remarks, on Rosh Hashanah, is being more part of the social justice programs, and specifically, anti-gun violence, but all of those programs. I probably haven't put as much time in as I've wanted, but I've been able to join a lot of the social justice committee meetings and those sorts of things. So that's what I'm up to. Still in transition. I don't know when I will really pull the plug on those last 2 days a week. Right now I'm still getting a lot of fun out of that. Richard, I'd be interested to hear, how going totally cold turkey went for you, but that's the next step for me.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, Phyllis, why don't you come on up? Take your mask off if you want.
So I was a teacher for 40 years, and as a teacher, my identity was pretty wrapped up in what I did for a living. So it was a little scary for me when I thought about retirement, who would I be? And I remember thinking the first week, 3 days into retirement, going, oh my God, what have I done? And then 10 days later going, oh, look what I've done. So that was great. I think the best advice I could give is to say, to look for what excites you, for what makes you happy, what fulfills you. We travel a lot. We love cruising. I volunteer as a town meeting member in Burlington. I'm on the bylaw review committee. I was on the dog park committee. I'm social justice here at the Temple. I stay active physically. I'm politically active. Those things make me happy. I spend time with friends. Try to spend time with my daughter, but she's 25, so that doesn't always work. But I guess the question I have is, where the heck did I ever find time to work? Because I don't know. I look at this as an adventure. It's a time to do what's meaningful to me and what fulfills me, and I hope that for Richard and everyone else who's thinking about retirement, that's exactly what it is for them.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's right.
and it was in my notes too. I picked up photography.
She picked
Sure
up
did.
photography and totally excelled at it. All right, Richard, come on up. Richard, the newly retired member of the crew.
Just in response to Andy's comment about going cold turkey, I'm not the person to talk about that. Since I've been retired for 2 weeks, I'm not sure that I have a wealth of experience to share with you. I guess everybody looks at retirement personally and differently. For me, the key is planning, is to plan well in advance. Obviously to plan financially, but also to plan what is one going to do with the time. I will say I'm no longer working the 60 to 70 hour weeks. I don't have to go online all the time. And although I'm a bit fortunate with my company in that what I do, they came back and rehired me as a consultant. So I can consult, X number of hours a month or something to ease the transition. Not everybody can do that. For COVID, I haven't gone into an office now for almost 3 years. And again, not everybody can do that because what I do is online or on the telephone, and that makes consulting a little bit easier. But when I say it requires planning for time, I've had thought about it for quite some time, for probably for years, map out projects and other things that are going to keep me busy. I like making furniture. I like doing those kind of things, and I plan to do that well in the future and for many years to come. I guess for me the best thing was I don't have those 60 to 70 hour weeks anymore. I can now share and share time and take a walk every day with my best friend sitting back in the room over there, whom I'm sure is blushing under her mask right now. But that's what keeps me busy. Yes, we plan to travel. We already have been traveling. When one has grandchildren halfway around the world, one gets used to traveling. So we'll certainly continue that. And so far, so good. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to open up the floor if anybody else wants to share any thoughts that they have about potential retirement, just thoughts about life, the meaning of their life and what they want to accomplish in the years going forward. Martha?
So I wasn't planning to speak tonight, but I was thinking a lot from what people were saying, and I was also a teacher for 38 years, and when I retired, I knew I was going to have to work part-time, so also worked part-time for the last 8 years, but I also wanted to do Tikkun Olam. I wanted to give back, and I ran for school committee and was fortunate to have been elected, so I've been on the school committee in Burlington for 8 years, and I feel like that's been a way to try really hard to give back and to make sure that all the kids in my district and in the state are getting what they need in various areas, and then that overlaps with working on the Social Justice Committee and trying to do work on equity and racial justice and trying to do work on the environment and how do we save this planet. And so I used to, when I first retired, I thought, well, I wish I had a hobby. You know, I don't do crafts and I don't do those things. But, you know, I like to, so other times I read or I've always got more things to do. And I do feel, earlier I didn't speak up, but I do feel a lot of gratitude that I now have time and I have the resources to visit my daughters who live in New York and DC more often, and to spend time with friends and to be able to do all that. So it's, I'm very busy and trying to make sure that I'm doing something to help other people, which is what gives my life meaning. And also to take time to do things that I enjoy, 2 book clubs, including the Burlington, the Temple Book Club, and those kinds of things. So thank you for letting me share that.
Thank you. And walks. And
And
walks with my
walks.
friends and by myself.
Anybody else want to share? Okay, well, I think a kind of a common thread I heard with everybody is that you never give up, you never stop thinking about how we want to make the world a better place, and how you want to make the world a better than the way you found it, and the importance of just reaching out to other people, and the importance of contributing to the temple community on many different levels, and so I personally find that to be the most meaningful part of life is giving to others, and that tikkun olam. And another thread I saw through everybody is creativity, like creating something new that wasn't there before. So those are the my two takeaways, and there's nothing wrong with doing what makes you happy. I mean, everybody's job doesn't always make them happy, but this is a time of life of, every single person deserves to find happiness in their life, and this, you've worked so hard for so many years, that this is what you work hard for, is to be able to find your own personal happiness and to branch out in other areas of life. So all of this is in keeping with the highest Jewish values. So thank you all for sharing, and thank you all for giving us a lot of food for thought. And with that, we will continue with the Aleinu on page 586. Please rise with our not retiring Cantorial Soloist.
Somebody with 2 jobs.
Somebody with 2 jobs.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated.
And please join me at the top of page 588.
שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום ההשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, והארץ מתחת, אין עוד.
And please turn to page 591. Join me in our contemporary version of Bayom Hahu, starting with the Ne'emar. And with your shakers.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. נאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. אחד ושמו אחד. אחד ושמו אחד.
The introduction to the Kaddish may be found on page 599. We think now of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. We recall Phoebe Cranish, who died during this past day, and we had to her name the names of those who have died during this past month: Nigel Bradshaw, Teresa Kessler, and we add to their names the names of those whose yahrzeits or anniversary of whose deaths occur this week: Linda Fanger Jokinen, Muriel Kasanov, Louis Rittenberg, Rose Rittenberg, Sheila Rosenberg, Peter Gordon Standley, Phyllis K. Stone, William Sullivan. And at this time, if there are names of others you'd like us to keep in our hearts and our minds, we prepare to recite the Kaddish prayer. You may say their names out loud or in your hearts as I look across the room.
Claire Rosenbaum.
Sorry.
Claire's brother.
We also think of the 7 Israelis killed as they were leaving Shabbat services this evening in Jerusalem. We think of those who have been killed over the past day, week, and months in Ukraine. We think of all of those who have died because of the circumstances in their lives, and those who have died of COVID and other diseases. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing. We turn to page 598 and rise to recite the Kaddish prayer. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shmei rabbah, v'yalmad divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalah v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach L'olam Olmei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal Shmei D'Kedusha B'richu Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran v'yalma v'yimru amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. O say shalom b'romav, huya say shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to our country, to Israel, to all Israel, and to Ukraine, as we say together, amen. Please be seated. And Andy, since you have not been off Cape for a few weeks, Mindy has stolen your announcement.
I
so
gave him a chance.
Come on over.
Retired from it.
Yeah, that's very good. Shabbat Shalom. So there's 3 very special services coming up, so I'll start with those. On February 3rd, next Friday, we will be at, so a couple of services, just to make sure everyone knows, they're going to be starting at 6:30, not at 7 o'clock. So next Friday, starting at 6:30, and that's because our wonderful young Aleph class, our little ones, are going to be leading us in a Tu B'Shvat Seder, and that will be in the social hall. So we will be meeting in the social hall next Friday for Tu B'Shvat, so 6:30. On this following Saturday morning, February 4th at 10:30, we'll be having a Torah service here right in the sanctuary. And if you're interested in doing a part in that service, English reading or Hebrew reading, please let me or Ben Einseidler know. And then the following Friday, February 10th, again, it'll be a 6:30 starting earlier service because it will be a special event for scouts in the area for both Boys and Girl Scouts. So anyone who is interested in attending, especially if you have a child who is a boy or a Girl Scout, or you were once a boy or Girl Scout, please try to make sure to attend. It'll be a very special service. So hopefully a lot of people can be at that one as well. Now we have a lot of other wonderful events coming up as well. This Sunday, January 29th at 10:30 in the morning, challah baking here at the temple. It's nice that we'll be able to get together and do some baking together. If you're interested in taking part, please let Ellen know. And also let Ellen know about January 30th as well, 7 o'clock, the Temple Book Club is going to be talking about the book called The Lincoln Highway, so 7 o'clock on the 30th. Now on February 1st, something's going to start up that we haven't had in a while. So Wednesday, February 1st, it'll be hybrid here or at home on Zoom. We're going to be having our adult ed classes starting up again, being led by Ben Einseidler, our rabbi intern. And it's going to be focusing on, now I don't know if I'm pronouncing, it's either Kabbalah or Kabbalah. What is?
Kabbalah.
Kabbalah, thank you. I never know which one, so Kabbalah. So anyone who's interested in learning about that, it's basically Jewish mythicism. I cannot say that word either. But I hope people can attend, so that will be, it's going to be 2 classes. So the first one will be February 1st, so this coming Wednesday, 7 o'clock. You can either be here in person or on Zoom. If you want to be at home on Zoom, just let me or Ben know, and we can get you the link to use. And last but not least, Michael Finkel,
Yeah,
ping pong.
February ping pong club is meeting on Tuesday, February 21st at 7 o'clock, and all are welcome. We don't have to bring a paddle or balls that are provided, and people, we have a very good time because that's the highlight, the talking and socializing, and ping pong we play also.
Yeah, so for people out there, February 21st, ping pong with Michael Finkel. Thank you so much, Michael, for doing this. Shabbat Shalom. Oh, Fran.
I'm just excited to announce that the coffee house, we're going to be having the first coffee house since the pandemic. Ben and Sheldon and I met March 25th. It's a Saturday night. There'll be plenty of time for more details, but please save the date, March 25th. Thank you.
Good, so we're all saving the date, March 25th, for our first Temple Coffee House in like 3 or 4 years. Should be great. Michael,
So we had a Brotherhood organizational meeting last Monday, so I'm pleased to announce a couple of events. We still gotta finalize the calendar, but we're looking to do our next Brotherhood Shabbat service the last Friday of February. I believe that's the 24th. I know there were a lot of participants in the room here, so I encourage you all to participate again. We're also talking about having a brunch of February 16th. We'll get the date and location out once the organizers figure that all out. And keep your calendars open in May after religious school ends. We're going to be making a trek out to Amherst to the Yiddish Book Club, or Book Center. And Ben is going to lead the charge on that, hopefully to arrange a tour of the center. And for people who want to do it, since it's a long drive, we thought we'd have dinner out there in Amherst. So stay tuned, but 3 very exciting events coming up. I'll get
Excellent.
you all the announcements.
And we're looking at the date of May 21st, I believe, for that.
excellent, so the Brotherhood is roaring back to life, and there's gonna be a Brotherhood service February 24th, and we usually have a lot of people participating in that service, so hopefully a lot of you here will participate in that, and the other events as well, so thank you. Anything else? All right, well, that was a lot. So as you can tell, we're very, very busy here at the temple, and lots of things to look forward to, which is great. So we're now gonna continue with the Kiddush.
We have Andy come up, and would he like to
Would Andy like to come up and lead us in the Kiddush
sing?
and sing the Kiddush? I put it in the form of a question, but apparently,
I didn't think that.
oh yeah, one,
Our working relationship is you don't ask questions, you phrase them as questions, but they are in fact commandments.
or at least rhetorical questions.
What page are we on?
122 and 123, please rise.
He answered with his feet.
Yeah,
Exactly. Get my mask off.
the traditional taking off of the mask. 122.
Okay. Here we go. The heaven and the earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing. And God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava uvratzon hinpilanu Zikaron lemase bereshit ki hu yom techila lemigrae kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim V'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. If we had known you were doing the Kiddush, we would have
Phil?
accommodated you a little better with the actual wine and the Kiddush cup. Thank you. Ellen, come on up. And Richard, why don't you come on up too? And thank you to Ellen for sponsoring the Oneg this evening in honor of Richard's retirement. Very timely. And by the way, thank you, Shelley, for organizing the pizza dinner this evening. It was awesome.
Yay. It was also in honor of a grandchild.
Oh, yeah, and she didn't know it was gonna be in honor of her grandson also until just recently.
Ready to sing? Motzi lechem min haaretz, we give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together, as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Sure. Thank you very much for baking that beautiful challah. Please be seated, everybody. And our closing song is,
Our closing song is Hebenu Shalom Aleichem, contemporary version, which I think it's on page 648. I can't promise that, but it's pretty familiar to most of you. It has the words of Hine Matov in it, and I do see it on 644, actually. And it's got Hine Matov in the middle, and I hope you'll all join in and shake along and sing along. Hebenu Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Hebenu Shalom. Hebenu Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Hebenu Shalom. Hinei matov, manayim, tevet achim, gam yachad. Hinei matov, manayim, tevet achim, gam yachad. Hebenu Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Hebenu Shalom. Shalom Aleichem, Aleichem, Hebenu, Aleichem, Hebenu, Aleichem, Hebenu, Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.